Sports Fanatic, with the coach, the logo, my good friend Johnny. Johnny, how you doing today?
Championship Sunday, baby.
Championship Sunday. We have a great pod today. We're going to talk about Stephon Diggs going to the Texans. We're going to talk about the NCAA title games. We're going to talk about Nelly Corda, NBA, MLB, the Masters, and a fun little draft at the end. So, let's dive right into this. Stephon Diggs getting traded from the Bills to the Texans for, I think, a 2025 second-round pick. Johnny, what do you make of this?
How is their offense not already going to be top 3 in the league is what I make from it.
Yeah.
Immediately you look, weapons everywhere. They look wild. It showed me that they are not scared of Mahomes, or they're just telling themselves, like, look, like, we're going to be right there with you guys, competing in the AFC for every year. I think it's sick. Like, I think every team in the league that's a contender wishes that they could pull off a deal like that. So good for them.
Yeah, on the outside, you're going to have Diggs. You're going to have Nico Collins. You're going to have Tank Dell. You're going to have Dalton Schultz at tight end. Just acquired Joe Mixon in the backfield. And they're set up to dominate that division. They're in a weak division. If they can somehow run the table in their division, be, good outside of it, they might be able to steal home field advantage from Kansas City and have these games in Houston.
Right. And we don't know how it's going to play out, obviously, but like the way that they are built right now and what's going on with the division, it like gives you feels that they're just going to run that division for like 4 or 5 years and just be that team that's always in the playoffs. So.
They have the best quarterback in the division with CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
They have a good defense. We unfortunately saw that in the divisional round, or the wild card round last year.
Probably a top 5 coach.
Yep. So no, I think the sky's the limit. But then there's another side of this coin. What went wrong in Buffalo between Allen and Diggs? I think the last pass intended for Diggs in Buffalo was that long, heave that Allen threw, and Diggs just dropped
do
it.
you think that they have like a beef, or do you just really?
I think there's a beef. I think
even though like there's
right
never
there.
been anything negative said, like of Allen about Diggs or Diggs about Allen. Like, has there been one thing?
Not that I've seen, but they weren't clicking. Diggs second half of the year had maybe 400 yards receiving. Something was off.
Something was definitely off. I don't know. I don't know if there's a beef, but like it does seem crazy for a team that considers themselves a Super Bowl contender every year. Like, can Buffalo even upgrade their offense? Like, is it too late?
They have to do it through the draft or some kind of trade. They're kind of in, I won't say cap hell, but they're not in the greatest of salary cap situation.
It's weird. And like, it's a contender that you're sending him to
in the AFC.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you shipped him out to
What's
an NFC
Diggs'
team.
contract?
They just voided the last 3 years, so he has 1 year left, and then he could become a free agent.
So is that likely what's going to happen? So they basically bought a second round pick for 1 year.
Yeah,
and then it's more of going to be.
It's
not like a we didn't talk about it and we're going to have an extension type deal, right? Like, he's going to be open next year to go anywhere.
Or they franchise him, which is a possibility.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me from Buffalo.
As a Browns fan, it makes me concerned about them even more. They obviously beat us to the playoffs, so I was still concerned.
I'm not concerned about Buffalo, I'm saying
about Houston,
Houston, for sure. It's crazy. All right. About like right now, the game's about to tip off. You going Iowa or South Carolina?
Go South Carolina. 6.5 point favorites. Best defensive team in college. Undefeated. I think they cap off the undefeated season today. I think there's only so much Caitlin Clark can do. And yeah, I want to see a great game, but I think South Carolina pulls it off.
I'm gonna go with the dog. I'm gonna go with the upset, and I'm not just going with it because of hype. So I've watched a decent amount of the South Carolina girls. They had a couple scares. They could easily have a couple losses on their roster. For them to actually win this game, Iowa obviously can't. Did you watch the Final Four game? And they had a drought in the first half.
Yeah.
Like, if they have in the first quarter, if they have any type of drought like that, a 7-8 minute drought in this game where you hit like 1 of 12 from 3, you're losing. But I'm just going to count on them being hot. The momentum's flowing. I felt like they escaped a game where Caitlin didn't even have a good first half. And once that three ball gets rolling, it can become a problem
Uh,
offensively. So
yeah, and Iowa almost lost to Connecticut, a great
for sure,
Connecticut team, and they were the beneficiary of a late call at the end of the game. What was it? 5 or 6 seconds left. A moving screen gets
it was
called,
moving though.
but it was moving.
It was moving. It was, and you could call it on the slide or you could call it on the little chicken wing
Yep.
chuck. Like it doesn't matter. It was a moving screen. The only thing I wish as I was watching that, I got like some PTSD because I'm like, well, if only Draymond Green were
Yep.
called on 25% of the screens, or even Bogut before that, or whoever were called on all these
So it
screens.
gets called on everyone else but the Golden State Warriors
Yeah.
against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
We
I
are,
mean, even a
yeah.
game, what was it? I think it was a couple years ago. We're playing in Golden State. We're up one. Draymond does a clear moving screen. Curry hits a three, and they don't call it.
Yeah, and those post splits, like to guard those with those players, already the most impossible thing to guard. And then if you're just gonna let them move, it's not feasible.
So we both agree it was the right call and should be called.
For sure, for sure. I mean, like everybody would run kind of sets like that at the end of every game if you knew you weren't gonna get called for it. So like I do hate the crowd of like you got to let them play no matter what in the last 5 seconds of the game. It's not accurate. Like we saw it this year. I think our first pod episode was us arguing about when they tackled Garland, and in the same week Monty Williams, when the Pistons were trying to either end their streak and they got tackled at half court
against the Knicks.
Like unacceptable. Like
No.
if it's a call, you got to make the call. So
Right.
like it's just
This isn't a let them play scenario.
yeah. And she was working her ass off to get through that screen.
Yep.
Like she earned that call. The only way she was going to get hit, she got skinny, got through the screen. The only way that she was going to get hit was that it was moving. So no doubt, right call. I'm pumped about that game. Pumped to watch it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we want to give a shout out in the worlds of women golf. Nelly Korda looking for her 4th straight win.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, think about any time, you're facing 100 other people, and if you win 4 straight, you beat 100 people 4 straight times.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty impressive.
It was just to say Caitlin's not the only like superstar right now in women's sports, but like 4 straight, and I'm pretty sure the record for women's golf is 5 straight, winning 5 straight tournaments. So if she pulls it off today, it'd be fun to keep track of. I don't know if they play during Masters week, but
we'll see.
Yep.
Awesome. So let's get to the hardwood here. Back to the hardwood. NBA playoff push. A lot of stuff going on. I think one thing, Johnny, you wanted to talk about was the struggle of the Milwaukee Bucks.
So they've lost 5 of 6. I think 1 or 2 of those was without Dame, so chill with the Dame criticism already.
I mean, but if you're losing to the Wizards, you're losing to the Wizards.
So exactly. One of them's against the Wizards. So I basically wanted to bring it up just that I'm kind of veering onto your side to where I can't take them seriously. You look down their roster and you have let's see here. You got Bobby Portis, Jay Crowder, Patrick Beverly, and Connaughton off the bench.
Yep.
Okay. I don't like that
No.
at all. And then I don't feel as confident with Middleton as I used to in the past, like that when you need a big shot. He's still taking the big shot, but he's not making the big shot. And then you almost need Dame and Giannis to be Dame and Giannis on any given night.
You need Dame to be good.
And they're
not
playing
9 for 25.
100. Yeah, exactly. Like it just can't be a volume type night. Like, but they could match up with Embiid. Like it could literally be the Sixers or the Heat. I truly believe that I would take either of those teams over the Bucks right now in a series. Like game comes down to the wire. You don't have like a Drew Holiday to kind of like, settle the storm and take away the other team's best players. Now teams are scoring with them instead of they have a little bit of a defensive presence on top of their offensive like prowess. So I think that teams kind of want to get the 7th seed right now in the East. I don't think teams mind being in the play-in, and they're trying to match up with Milwaukee.
And one of those teams you talked about, the Philadelphia 76ers, and last 3 games, they're 3-0. And why is that? Embiid's back.
Yeah.
And even though he's only playing 28 minutes,
I don't want the Cavs to play him.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah.
He's averaging 27 points since he got back. He's shooting 45% from 3. The guy's back.
For sure.
And, in a series against the Bucks,
we talked about this a month and a half ago that we knew they were going to drop. We knew that the top of the East was going to be concerned because nobody wants to touch them in the first round. And they're gelling. Now back to the Bucks real quick. In your opinion, do you see it as like Like, because you could argue at this point, like, what if they just kept Adrian Nelson? Like, would things really be much worse than what's
No,
going on?
I don't. The Doc
It's
Rivers move was Adrian Griffin.
or
The
Adrian Griffin, my
the
bad. Yeah.
Doc Rivers
Why
move
did I
was
just say
very
Adrian
head
Nelson?
scratching anyway.
Yeah.
I've never seen one coach get more out of one championship than Doc Rivers. And he's a former Marquette guy, so Livy has to forgive me for criticizing him. But
What's their issue? Like,
defense, they can't play defense.
okay.
It-
So for me, it's like their issue is the players. Like, I don't think that they are built the way that they used to be built. They used to have a bench that comes in like, I mean, Bobby Portis still can become a major factor in a lot of games, but all these other guys, dude, like you bring Jay Crowder in the game. I was laughing 10 years ago when you brought Jay Crowder into the game.
Sag
now,
off of them.
yeah, I mean, it's a joke what they're bringing in off the bench. You're relying on Malik Beasley to just be
Hit
the
threes.
sniper
Yeah.
every single game. I just can't see you're putting a lot on Dame and Giannis in a 7-game series. They're probably 40-minute a game every night to win. Yeah, I think it's the players. I think next year's offseason is going to be huge for them. I could see a first or a second round exit. That's kind of my prediction for them. I don't see anything past that.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. Now, you could try to maybe, you get to at least in the playoffs. There's no back to backs,
Yep.
so you get to run Giannis more. You get to run. Yeah, I know you love him, Dame more.
Yeah.
Do you then start putting Giannis more at the 5? Go a little smaller. Try to run. Put Giannis with
It's
4
tough
shooters.
because Brooks, like your other big, like you have to play Brook. He's one of your other top guys. He's one of the other guys that just impacts the game in a
because he
positive
can
way.
shoot the 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's a stud. So it's like why you can't take off one of the guys that you need on in crunch time. You know.
But
what
if
I mean?
he hurts you defensively,
Yeah, I mean I
Which
don't know. They
one-
got issues. They got issues. You
All right.
watch them, you're just not confident in the Bucks.
all right. So we've talked a lot about the East. Let's head to the West. The play-in tournament and the play-in spots is getting really heated up in the West. Last time we talked about potentially the Rockets sneaking in there. They're dead now.
They're done.
They're done.
Yeah.
The Warriors beat them by 23.
Yep.
They're now 4 back. It's over.
Luka started their demise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luka always owns them.
He did.
They're still in the 5 spot in the the
man.
West.
I'm sticking with my dark horse, baby.
Who was your
What were they when I called them making a run?
they were like
Mavs.
7th or 8th.
At least 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Keep tabs on that. So you got like kind of the Lakers, the Kings, the Pelicans, and the Suns.
Yeah.
Kind of fighting for
And
is
really
that 10? And the Warriors. So those are 9 through 6.
and
right
even
now.
the Suns are
10 through
6th.
6. Okay.
So you have really 3 teams fighting for the 6th spot: the Suns, the Pelicans, and the Lakers. And you can even throw the Kings in there. The Warriors are probably in that 9th or 10th spot, no matter what happens, because we're entering the final week. So who do you got? I think the Lakers could make another run. They're only a game and a half back. They're looking good.
I'd have to honestly see the remaining schedules to like determine that, but I'm gonna go ahead and just say if things stand put, like same exact prediction that I had a couple weeks ago. I see the Lakers getting out of the play-in as a 7 seed. I see them getting out. I see the Warriors winning the 9-10 game, probably losing to the Lakers, and then being the 8
Well, the
seed.
7 and 8 play.
7 and 8
So
play
if
and
they
9 and 10
win-
play.
Yeah, so if the Lakers
Oh,
win
so
the
yeah,
7th,
so they would play the 8 seed.
so then
the
they
loser.
would play probably the Pelicans
Okay.
for that 8th spot.
So I'm gonna bank on the Warriors and the Lakers ending up as a 7 and 8 seed.
Okay. And you're assuming Phoenix holds on to the
Phoenix
6th?
holds on.
Okay.
They're playing well. I don't know if they ended playing well yesterday. They obviously smacked the Cavs a couple nights ago, but then
But is that really that hard?
they
these
went up
days?
like 17-0 on the Wolves last night. I don't know what ended up happening in
Yeah,
that
let's
game,
look it up.
but they've been playing really well, so I don't see anybody.
They won. They
sneaking
won by
present.
10
Okay.
against the Wolves.
Okay, so yeah,
I mean, it's at that time
Devin
of year.
Booker's
I mean,
hungry, bro. Devin Booker's playing.
and you have
where,
Durant.
yeah, I know, but like he's
And Grayson
playing
Allen's
very
playing
assertive
well.
for sure.
Royce
Well, yeah.
O'Neal off the bench. You have more pieces.
That was your dangerous team,
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
it?
right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the Suns. I like them in the playoffs more than I do over the course of a season. Who you could run Beal, Booker, and Durant 40 minutes a night in
Yep.
the playoffs.
And we're gonna know exact matchups this time next week,
Yep.
so we'll be able to break down each series and kind of say
That'll be our
fun.
that might just be an NBA
that.
only
Yeah,
episode.
that'll be big. Love it.
Awesome. So Stick with me here. We're gonna talk about baseball a little
My
bit,
arm
all
hurts
right?
too, and we're not talking about that. No.
No.
All right.
You know, big news in the MLB. You know, you've had a couple of really big arm injuries. Shane Bieber for the Guardians and Spencer Strider, probably the NL Cy Young favorite. You know, both are gonna be out for the year. They need Tommy John surgeries. For Bieber, this was crushing. You know, he was 2-0. He had 20 strikeouts and was just dominating. And for this Guardians organization, they rely so much on their starting pitching. And right now, they're down Bieber in the starting rotation, and they're down Gavin Williams, who should be back sometime in early May. But there's not a lot in the minors to help them out. Xavier Curry's still doing a minor league rehab appearance. But if there's ever hope, it's in baseball because you're less dependent on one person than in football, like a quarterback, or basketball is like your star player.
So are these injuries becoming like rampant?
These injuries are increasing.
So do you think it's obviously got to be some kind of correlation to the pitch clock, right?
I don't think it is. I think it's
no correlation.
it's hard to tell because these
It's
injuries
just
were
so
happening.
easy to blame it on something, right?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, these guys are training for velocity.
Yeah.
These guys are not saying, I need to throw 96. I need to throw 97. Can the human arm withstand that for a whole year?
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to get more higher spin rates. You know, the more you're twisting your wrist or arm, you're putting so much pressure on that elbow.
It's interesting. My brain goes to like, there's no way they're going backwards from a pitch clock if like injuries just explode, right? Because it's just good for the game. I feel like.
Well, it depends on how many people get hurt, but yeah, it's good for the game. I mean, the more common fan wants to go to a baseball game now.
For sure.
The game has gone from 3 hours and 5 minutes to 2.5 hours. That's a big deal.
It is.
Like, there's more stuff actually happening. You're not seeing guys take timeouts and, you know, scratching their head.
Yeah,
and
I'll be home for the national championship tomorrow night because of it.
Yeah.
I won't have to worry about making tip-off.
Well, let's see how. Well, we also have the eclipse, so let's see how the traffic situation is.
Yeah, they'll
down
throw
there.
first pitch at 5. Though. They're not going to delay first pitch,
right? Because the eclipse is at like 3:40, I think.
Yeah.
So you know, the first pitch is at 5:10. We're playing the White Sox. They can't hit. We struggle hitting. You know, you're out of there by 7:25. So you're gonna have a lot of time to get out of there. No, but I think, you know, the focus on velocity and spin rates is, I think, the cause of this, and there's no real solution at the top of my head out of it. Like, you're going to want to throw harder, faster, and more spin on the ball.
People have honestly, like, we don't have the numbers in front of us. People get hurt every year. Yeah. Like, people have been getting Tommy John since, like, ever.
Since Tommy John in the 70s.
So, like,
yeah. I mean, just for the Guardians, it does hurt, but I don't think it's an end-all, be-all to the season. Like, you got a lot of guys on this team, like Brian Rocchio, Tyler Freeman, David Fry. When they're at the plate, they're not thinking about Shane Bieber. They're fighting for their MLB lives. They're more worried about that.
Yeah.
I think also the Guardians, they've started out hot. There's been some pleasant surprises, especially in the bullpen with Cade Smith, who was one of their kind of mid-tier prospects, but he's come on. Moving Hunter Gaddis from being a starter to a reliever. He's throwing 97 out of the pen. He's looked good.
Yeah, then what happens when they get on a 7-game losing streak going into game 50? These are a lot of positives here, but like
a lot of positives. I mean, who's running away with this division, Johnny?
I don't know.
Tigers
know.
are about to lose 2 in a row to the A's. The White Sox are terrible.
How does that help you when you get in the playoffs?
We're not worried about the playoffs.
You still have to play
you
teams
gotta
in the other division.
Get there.
You don't get to just play only your division in the playoffs. Like, we've been over it. But all right, go.
All right, Masters.
Haywood's insane take that fake Rory McIlroy fan over here saying that he has no chance. I wanted to reiterate. That's who I'm taking. If I have to take one guy, I'm taking Rory to win it.
All right, I'm still taking Brooks.
I'm so pumped for the Masters too. Like how you took off work that Thursday. Like I think I'm about to for Masters.
Well,
Thursday.
I took it off for March Madness.
I know.
Yeah, I'm about to take it off for the Masters. You can.
I think I'm going to.
All right.
Let's just do it Friday too.
Nick and Haywood. Well, what picks do you guys got?
So Haywood goes Brooks, Koepka, and Joaquin Niemann.
Me and Haywood are on the same squad with Brooks.
And then Nick. Tommy Fleetwood and Sergio Garcia.
Garcia's an interesting pick because he's playing really well in the tournament he had this weekend. So Sergio Garcia is an interesting pick there for Nick.
Those are good. I like it.
All
My
right.
dark horse is Tom Kim still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Even though we all think Scotty's winning, but go on.
props. Any fun props?
No, I do. Let's just say there's going to be a hole in one on, was it 16? Yeah, on 16.
All right. I'm gonna go Phil Mickelson with a top 10 finish.
Ooh.
I believe that's
spicy.
It's plus the 800. He tied for second. He tied. Okay. He tied for second last year. Like he knows the course. He's been there before. I'm not picking him to win it, but yeah, top 10 finish.
Yeah. I mean, I need a Phil Mickelson coffee right now is what I need. All right. We'll go to the fast food draft.
All right, Johnny, you can have the number one.
I'm pumped about this one. Okay. All right. I'm going Culver's.
Wow.
How do you not go Culver's? That wasn't going to be your number one.
It wasn't. It was on the list. It would have been my number 3.
Easiest pick I've ever made in anything we've done. Borderline, I think it's cheating because I don't even think Culver's is fast food, to be honest.
It has a drive-through. It's fast food.
Burgers are fire. Chicken
butter burgers, yeah. Cheese
curds. Lent, I was getting their fish. Their fish is fire. Cod's fire. Jumbo shrimp fire. They have amazing shakes. Dessert game is on point. What is there not to like about Culver's?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff to like.
Onion rings, cheese curds, you said, pretzel bites.
Yep.
You can get anything. You could close your eyes and be like, give me a number 5, and you're going to be happy with your meal.
No, sounds good. I would have taken him 3. My number 1 pick, or the number 2 pick now, is going to be Chick-fil-A. I mean,
taking that off the board.
The chicken sandwiches are amazing. I love the spicy one. Waffle fries, or you can even get mac and cheese if you're feeling spicy.
Don't sleep on the lemonade.
No, don't sleep on the lemonade. Also, how quickly they can get you through the drive-through. The line's from here to the freaking street, and they still get your food to you fast.
We're gonna go Shake Shack.
Go Shake Shack. Okay.
Yeah, it's fresh in my stomach.
Yeah, 'cause
right
you just
now.
had it.
Yep.
Get an avocado burger.
Similar to Culver's, same thing.
Okay.
Not a lot of weaknesses. I like their burgers a lot more than I like their chicken, but good desserts.
All right.
Easy choice.
My number 2 or 4th pick, I'm going to go the whole reason this industry exists. I'm going McDonald's. It's consistent. Their fries, I think.
I eat it way too much to even make a noise like that. But
their fries are amazing. You can get, chicken sandwiches, burgers. Ordering through the app makes things so much cheaper. Also, I love the history of McDonald's. Started by the McDonald brothers in California.
I had to watch
Ray,
that movie.
The founder.
Yeah, dude. I had to watch that for school.
Wow, that's interesting.
Business class.
Ray Kroc, takes it over, popularizes it. Makes everything consistent throughout the country. He eventually ended up owning the San Diego Padres too.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
did he end up screwing 1 million people in the process of?
He was
all these
he had some cutthroat tendencies.
Yeah, I thought that he ruined the lives of a lot of families on his way to.
I don't know if he ruined a lot of lives.
He did something shady. I don't know the story. I'm just putting down this guy's whole life, and he's probably a saint. I have no idea.
He did take control from the original McDonald brothers.
That was the start of it. Yeah.
But he was the one who put the work in, built the franchise model, because the McDonald brothers didn't want to build the franchise.
You're his biggest fan. I've never heard. You are. What's his name?
Ray Kroc.
You're probably wearing Crocs right now because of that. You're sick. It's your favorite person ever.
That's enough of that. Fine.
All right, mine's a very bold choice for being my number 3. I've had it twice. Zaxby's.
Whoa, I've never had it because that's more in the South.
Yeah, I've gotten their chicken fingers twice. If I see one, I stop. I literally could have just eaten a meal, and if I see it on the next exit, I'm stopping. So, love Zaxby's.
All right. Who's there for you at 2 a.m. when you really need it?
T-Bell?
Yep, I'm going with T-Bell.
Yeah.
For the sole fact that when you need them, they're there.
No, dude, they're underrated. I'll give you that one.
So I
T-Bell over McDonald's.
Oh, okay, stop. No, I loved late night Taco Bell. For when we've had a few.
What's your go-to?
So I used to get the quesarito, but it's no longer on the menu. So I do like the Doritos tacos.
Cheesy gordita crunch.
Ooh.
Yeah. But you want to know my big beef? Haha.
Is it a big beef?
No, I didn't. My big beef with Taco Bell is
it's the beef.
The nacho fries.
Oh, they keep taking them off. Yeah.
They're
good.
Why?
They're amazing. So
literally might be the number 1 item on the menu. They're just we don't want sales, so we're just gonna take this.
They hate money.
just for a minute. We're
Yeah.
gonna see you guys in 6
Well, it's
months.
also hard though, because like you have to have. There's only so many menu things you can have when you're making it at 2 a.m. real quick.
That's not one that I feel like you have to take out. They come out in a frozen, like they're literally in a plastic bag, and you just put them in a fryer. Like, and it's amazing. Everybody loves them. There is a 100% consensus that everybody wants nacho fries seasonally. You should know this more than anybody, Mister. Like, I only like Reese's if they're available. Why are they not available?
That's true.
Like,
Availability matters.
yeah, I mean, like, so yeah, there's my nacho fries rant.
All right,
That's it, bro.
that's it. All right,
So Iowa, shoot it, baby, shoot it.
all right.